Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we've got a little something special for you. I have a guest star.
Hi.
This is my daughter Alice. She's sick today, so she's just kind of camping out in my room. She's got her tablet, she's got her headphones, she's got some coloring. She wants to say hello. What do you want to say, Alice?
Hi guys. It's me, Alice, and guys, I also have a YouTube channel. It's called Alice Loves to Play. So remember to check out my YouTube channel and subscribe to my channel. Hit the like button.
See, she's a professional already. Thank you, Alice.
You're welcome.
Okay. It's a pretend channel. She doesn't have a YouTube channel, guys. Don't worry.
Yeah.
So anyway, so you can see from the title of today's video is that we are going to be trying out official Hunger Games makeup. It's like my dream come true. Where was this? Like, oh God, when did the last movie come out? Where was this 3 years ago? Where was this? Though my wallet may not have been able to handle it at that point. So I saw this. It popped up on my Facebook suggestions. I don't know. The phones listen to us. Maybe heard me talk about Hunger Games and knows I love makeup. So it was like, oh, by the way, you can buy this now. So if you go on, it's the Hunger Games exhibition. So here, thehungergamesexhibition.com. And I know for you guys, it's backwards. Sorry, but I just used them so I can see what I'm doing on the camera. Whatever. So go on that website. Maybe I'll put it down below. It's one of the official Hunger Games pages. They have this exhibition that travels around. Right now, I believe it's in Vegas. And you can go, and you can learn things about the movie. You can train as Katniss. It's all this kind of cool stuff. And they now have makeup. There's special merch. I mean, there's like a wallet that's like $1,000, which is ridiculous. I'm not that crazy. But we do have makeup. I got the Girl on Fire collection eyeshadow palette, and then I got one of the liquid lipsticks. They also have lashes. So they have the Girl on Fire collection, and then they have the Capital collection. They're both very unique to themselves. The Girl on Fire collection is much more neutral and natural, as you'll see from these products. The Capital collection is much more bright colored, much more into the brights. So they do have lashes for both collections, 2 pairs of lashes for each. There's liquid liners for each collection, and there's, was there something else that I didn't get? If I think of it, I will tell you. But I didn't get the lashes because, as I've said before, I hardly ever wear lashes. So I'm not going to just buy lashes just to try out for funsies. That's just not me. And then liquid liners, I have liquid liner. I don't need to buy an extra liquid liner. And though they did have in this collection, that was what I was gravitating more towards, they did have a gold liner for the character of Cinna. If you don't know the series very well, he's Katniss's stylist at this character, and he always has this gold eyeliner. I did have a gold eyeliner, and I talked about in my declutter video, but I actually ended up decluttering it after the video anyway because they're so old. I just threw them out because, again, they're so old, and yeah. And I was like, obviously, I'm never going to use these. And then, of course, I'm like, oh, if I'd kept the gold one, I could have just put it in the It's okay. It's all right. So the palettes are $25. And the liquid lipsticks are $18. The lashes range between $12 to $15, depending on which pair you get. And the liners are about, I think they were around $15. Just check out the site. So they're a bit on the more expensive side. I didn't have a chance, to try and look up the labs or anything. Cause again, I was a little bit concerned that if this was made elsewhere, like in China, if there was going to be more of an issue, about testing and about what the quality of the product was. So once I got it, I looked on the back, and it is made in the USA, and it is cruelty-free. It's got the little cruelty-free bunny. So if that matters to you, it's made in the US, cruelty-free. So that's great. I'm not a specifically cruelty-free channel, but I do love my animals. So, I know that the rules in China are different than the rules that are in the US. So this does make me a lot more comfortable about putting this on my face. Just saying. Because it's not like it's L'Oreal's company that's making this. Like it's not presented or brought by another company. It's just this. So I was a little concerned because I've never bought makeup that wasn't through an established company. The smallest company that I've ever gone through is like a YouTuber's company. So anyway, 5 minutes in, I'm already rambling. So we're going to get ready. I've already done my eyebrows, but I'm going to do everything else. So I'm going to kind of treat this also as a get ready with me. You can kind of see what my normal routine is. Because like I've said, for my base, I pretty much use the same 2 or 3 things. I could kind of rotate around depending on what I'm doing. And then it's really like the eye products or the shadows and liners and stuff that I kind of like play around with, and then lips. So here we go. We're going to see how this works out. So let's talk about some Hunger Games, shall we? Oh, and I already did my No Problem primer. I got this in a BoxyCharm. And I'm going to use my Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Ultrafine Mist, which I'm obsessed with. It's so good. I feel like it just really like helps like prep my face. I love it. I'm going to use my Patrick Ta fan. Ugh. And it like really like smells like watermelon. Like watermelon's not my favorite fruit to eat personally, but it just smells amazing. And it doesn't make me feel sticky. It just feels like it really like helps like prep my face. So anyway, the Hunger Games. What is my story with the Hunger Games? How did I start? So, I'm just going to use the, I'm not going out tonight. I'm just going to go see my boyfriend later. I'm just going to use the Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Tinted Moisturizer. I love this. I'm just going to use a beauty blender. And that's going to pump a little bit on here. Okay. So the Hunger Games. So I like briefly kind of talked about it a little bit in the first video, but we'll tell it's like a little story time. Sure. Like let's put in that category too. I'm just like melding everything together. It's crazy. So, I bought the book about, I know that the first movie had already been out, and I'd kind of been hearing things from different people in my life talking about it, and I was like, okay, it sounds interesting. And I started reading the book. I was going on vacation with my parents. We were going to the West Coast, which is where I'm originally from, in Southern California. So we were going to be staying with my grandparents, and they're going to be meeting this one for the first time when she was a baby. She was just a few months old. So, my hair. So it was for the plane ride, and I mean, I got immediately into it. I really liked the story. Since it is much more of that YA world, it's a bit easier to read. It doesn't, there's not a lot of like filler, and you know what I mean. It's definitely easier to read, but I did find it very interesting. So I was reading on the plane when we, if we were just kind of hanging out in the morning, I was reading it. I was reading it before going to bed. I could tell that it was a book that I really liked. And I knew it was a series. So I was like, great, I can get into it. Now, spoilers, if you don't know anything about the Hunger Games, you ever heard anything, this is the time to stop, because I'm going to be talking about part of the book in between telling the story. I'm using the Liquid Camouflage High Coverage Concealer in the shade 005 Light Natural. Love this stuff. Only $8. So I got to the part, and I mean, I'm a very emotional person anyway, and then after having a child, it's like made it even worse. I cry at a lot of things. So I had definitely cried while reading the book, or, feeling emotional, and, that's just me. It's Gemini. I'm very emotional. Putting myself into situations that don't exist. So I got to the part where where Rue dies, where Rue is killed. And I lost it. I was crying, and I had to I was like, all right, I need to put this book down, because I'm just being too emotional about this, and it's too much, and I don't want to know what happens more right now. I'm just done. So I put it down for the rest of the trip. I didn't read it on the way back. It just literally just went back into my bookcase, and I didn't open it again. With the intention that I didn't want to finish it. I did want to. It's not like I hated it then. I was like, it's too much. I'm being too emotional. This is crazy. Step. So I put it away. Fast forward. Fast forward into the future. I think today I'm going to use the Becca. This is the Hydro Mist Set and Refresh powder that I got in a BoxyCharm. It's really cool. I like it a lot. I'm using this. I got this in a BoxyCharm. This is a Moda Pro brush, BMX 130 pointed blush brush. I like to just use it to set my face. So I put it away with every intention to pick it back up again. But then life, things happen. I got busy. So fast forward to about a year later, maybe a little more than a year later, I was going on vacation with my friends to the beach for a whole week. Very exciting. And I decided that I was like, you know what? I never finished that book, and I always meant to. Let me take it with me. I'll finish it on my vacation. And I remembered that I liked it a lot. Oh, wait, no, sorry. I skipped a part. Before this, it was probably maybe like 3, 4, maybe 5 months before this. I was out at Target and I saw that the first movie was out on DVD. And I broke my rule of, if I start reading a book that I know is going to become a movie, that I make sure that I finish the book first. Because it's not so that I can critique it and be like, the movie's not like the book. Like, they got this wrong. I just like to know what the original story is. So then I can see where the cuts are and not be confused or mistaken and just be able to judge it myself. I am not that person. Or at least I try not to be. Because I know that it takes a lot of work to transform a book into a movie. It takes a lot. So when you can find a good interpretation and a good adaptation, that's always great to be able to find that. All right. That's a little bit in my eyes. Okay. So I took it home. I was taking classes at the time. So I was sitting here. I was doing homework, watching the TV. But I wasn't super paying attention. So, and now if you've read the book or you've seen the movie, you know that point in the book that I stopped, it's about 75% of the way through. I still had a good, 10 chapters left, maybe. See, I'm not that far. I don't even remember how many chapters it is anymore till the end of the book. I used to know. I would have been like, yeah, it's this many chapters, because I was a crazy person. So yeah. So here, before we open the makeup, because I'm about that point, because since my eyebrows are done, and everything else is set, it's gonna be eyelid time. Here, I'll prep them with the MAC Painterly paint pot. So, and I remember it was on, but I was doing homework. I was doing things at the time. I remember that I liked it, but it didn't emotionally hit me for some reason. I remember that the book had really emotionally hit me, but the movie was not. And I was surprised by that because, and while the things that I knew were changed or, adjusted for a movie, I just know that the reason was that I wasn't really paying attention to it because I was, like I said, like 3 times I was doing homework. I was like, okay, I'll eventually, I'll finish the book and then I'll watch it again. So there we are. Let's open up the palette. Here's the palette. This is the packaging. Now I did open this real quick when I got it because again I was reading the back, and I wanted to smell it, make sure it didn't smell weird. So here's the actual packaging. It's really, really pretty. I love the gold. And here's the back. And now it's 4 pans. So here we go. And they're nice. They're a big size. So it's $25. There's only 4 pans, but it's a lot of product. I still think that it should be less, but here we go. So you've got the shade Primrose, which is Katniss's sister. You've got Buttercup, who's the cat. Tigress, which is a character that doesn't come until the 3rd book. And then Cinna, like I said, is her stylist. So we're just going to have a nice, basic brown kind of smoky eye. I'm going to try and use all 4 colors, which is great. So let me get my dirty brush and start working that crease. So, is this it? Yes. So I'll go into Primrose first to start off this look. Now, it doesn't smell sweet. It kind of just smells like eyeshadow. So, again. And there's not a lot of kick up, so that's kind of cool. There's no mirror, so I'll just use you guys as my mirror. So, now back to where I was saying. So I was going on vacation with my friends for a whole week. And I was like, you know what? I loved it on vacation the last time, so let me use it for vacation again. So I brought it, but I figured I would probably want to read the next book. So I also purchased the next book, Catching Fire. And I brought that with me as well. So first full day, because I had to travel, and we actually had travel. That's a whole other story. So the trip was Saturday to Saturday. So this is Sunday. We get up, we go to the beach, and I bring the book. So I decided to go back, like, because I had a bookmark in there, so I decided to go back a whole chapter to, like, help me remember what's going into this moment and blah, blah, blah. So I'm reading. And as I'm reading, one of my friends who's on the trip, one of my still best friends to this day, he says, "Oh, you're reading Hunger Games." I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Oh, I'm on the last book right now." And I was like, "Oh, well, what did you think? What's your opinion of the first two? Since I'm about to finish this one. I know how I feel, but how do you feel?" He's like, "Oh, I really like it. It's great." And he said, "Actually, I wasn't done with the second one, but I bought the third one." He like basically did the same thing I did, but he forgot Catching Fire. And I was like, "Dude, I brought Catching Fire with me because I knew I'd probably want to start it." He was like, "Can I borrow it so I can finish it?" I said, "Of course." Because he was only staying the first 2 days, I believe. I think it was 2 days. So I was like, "Oh yeah, do you, if you actually like finish it, then yeah." And he's like, "Yeah, no, I totally do. I was gonna like, just kind of go into it and maybe eventually finish it." Now, if you've read the second book, it's a good thing that he finished it because there's stuff that goes down. Okay, as you can see, it's not that pigmented. I hate to be like that, but it's not that pigmented. I mean, it is definitely getting onto my eyes. You can see there is definitely color there, but I am having to go in this and not tap it at all. So if you are of a deeper skin tone, even like a sort of medium light skin tone, see, I tapped it out of habit. I don't know if this would show up very much for you. It's because like I'm super white and it's not that great. Now this is, and also this eye is the one that I always have trouble in the crease. For some reason, it just doesn't want to like land. But that's like any shade. I always have trouble like in my crease, like really getting a full color. You can see the crease. So let me try maybe a more pointed brush. That's clean, which is impossible. I'll try this one. So trying to get in there. It is what it is. Let me turn my light a little bit too. I have it kind of low. Okay. You okay back there?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay, good. She is sick. I want to check in with her.
Yeah, so, I have like a coughing situation over here.
A coughing situation. That's very, very, very nice. Now I think what I'll do, I'm going to go back into the crease, but I'm going to use Buttercup, and I'm going to use the same brush. Let's see if Buttercup can give us some color. That one's has a little bit more. I can actually like kind of see it getting picked up in the pan. So, anyway, so my friend and I are both reading the same series. I finished the first one. He finished the second one. He goes on the third one. I go on to the second one. And definitely after the first book, I went, I want to know what happens. But I can see how they kind of ended it where, maybe, in case the rest of the series didn't get picked up. It ends, and I mean, if you've read the first book or even seen the first movie, I feel like it ends in a way that it's ambiguous enough that, like, it's not like a super duper cliffhanger. It's not like from Catching Fire to Mockingjay, which is a dead-on cliffhanger. It ends, but if you were to never finish it, then feel like you could make your own assumptions in what could happen in that world, but, Anyway, I'm rambling. So, Catching Fire, I become obsessed. I'm staying up late to read it. I'm, in the morning, I'm reading it. When we go down to the beach, I'm, like, reading it all day long. I finished it. So, I finished the first book on Sunday. Because, again, I only had about 10 chapters. And I mean, me, when I'm really into something, and they're not that long of chapters, and it's not that deep and heavy of a read, that 10 chapters, whatever. So I finished it that night. So then Monday, I started Catching Fire. I want to say it was, if not Tuesday night, then like Wednesday during the day sometime. So within 3 days, I had finished the second book. And my friend had left with the third book. So, what am I supposed to do? I'm in Ocean City, Maryland. That's where we're vacationing. There's no bookstores there. So I decided to go on a little adventure. And one of my best friends, she came with me to try and see if I could find books. And I was like, well, they have best-selling books at our grocery stores at home. Maybe they would at these grocery stores. No, only romance novels. We went to like 3 different places, like drugstore, little corner store, just romance novels. That's all they had. It's just romance novels. So I was like, ugh. I was like, well, I guess I'll just have to wait till I go home. Now, again, this is 2013. And I did have a smartphone. Now I'm going to go into, I'm going to do Cinna in the middle. I think I'm going to just have to use like a corner shade from another palette because this is my skin tone. So I'll have to use something else to do the inner corner and the brow. But I think I'm just going to put this like in the middle and then this on the outer corner. And I will use my finger. It's very goldy. Ooh, it's much more just kind of like a brown, sort of metallic shade in here, but it comes off very, very gold. So let's see if it actually like shows up on the lid. A finger is always a lie for this one. Finger can be a lie. Yeah, that's like not going down. It's staying on my finger and it's not going onto my eye. So I'm going to have to use a brush. Fun. We're gonna have to use a brush, but which one will it be? I don't know. Maybe a something brush. Oh boy. Did I prepare? Did I prepare? Oh, here. Here's a little tiny brush that I can use. And there's something else back here. What's this? Maybe we'll try this one. We're going to try spraying this. Use my MAC Prep and Prime. Okay. Now let's see if we can get some color on here. So let's try that. Okay, at least it's kind of going down. Hello. Maybe like actually let you guys see what I'm doing. Not my favorite. This is not my favorite. Get down there. So anyway, continue on with my little story. So, I don't find the third book. we go back to the condo and I'm like, oh, disappointed. But you know, it's okay. It's all right. Could be worse things in life. Just me being a little obsessive person. I mean, there are plenty of other things I've been obsessed about in my life and been like, you know, super like gung-ho about, but this has been the first time in a long time. So I recognize the feeling. So, we get back to the condo and I'm bored. I'm like, ugh. And then I realized, hello, you have a smartphone. And I had the Kindle app on my phone. But I don't think I downloaded it in a really, really long time. So I look it up and it's like $8 to download Mockingjay. Now my cell phone screen at the time was very, very cracked. So I didn't know how it was actually going to like look while trying to read it. I was like, it's worth a shot. It's $8. So I downloaded it and I pushed through. So from Wednesday to Friday night, I'm reading like a crazy person. I was the driver for our trip for me and my best friend and one other person. Okay, so like, hold on. I need to look at this closer. This doesn't have a mirror. Look at this closer. I mean, it's not the best, and it took a lot of work to lay that down. And then we'll try to prove upon that in a little bit, but we'll just leave that for now. Okay, now we'll do the last shade, Tigress. And use my big floofy brush. See if I can get some color in here. There's also color in here from other palettes. Maybe that'll help. So, I read until about 3 in the morning Friday night. And now, again, we have to be out of our condo on the way back by 11. I'm like, I literally had to make myself stop because I would have just finished it that night. But I stopped at the point, now again, spoilers. If you've never read it, don't listen to this part. I stopped at the point where they're about, so in Mockingjay, when they're about to, everyone thinks that they're dead. They're about to head towards the president's mansion. They're all alive in the house, but they're about to head out. And that's how the chapter ends. And I literally thought to myself, because I'm a crazy person, I literally thought, okay, they're all safe. Nobody's hurt, or at least, you know. Sorry for the interruption. So they're all safe. They're all okay. All the characters I cared about, they're all fine. This is the place to stop. I have to go to sleep. Right? So I stopped the next day. We pack up. I mean, we're all packed, but clean up, make sure we got everything, take the keys back, hit the road. From there to where I live, it's about a 3-hour drive plus traffic. It was like 3.5, 4. We stopped for lunch, blah, blah, blah. So I get home and I decide, you know what? Instead of immediately going and watching or finishing the book, because again, everybody's safe. It's okay. Everybody's fine. That's literally what I was thinking. I decide, you know what? I want to watch the first movie. I want to watch the first movie. Again, like, what was wrong with me? This doesn't look fantastic, but we're going to try and blend it out. It's kind of, I'm going to get my blending brush. So I go home. I take my things out. I haven't seen her in a week. And, you know, I'll make sure everything's good. But then I go upstairs and I'm like, I want to put the movie out. So I thought it was in my little drawer there. So I want to take the movie out. I want to have it right there. So it's ready to go. So tonight when she goes to bed, I can watch the movie. I come up and I look and I don't find it. I'm like, what the hell? So I remember my sister borrowed it. And my sister at the time did not live like a 5-minute drive from my house. So I called her and I was like, hey, oh yeah, I just got back. Yeah, it was fun. Oh, hey, by the way, did you finish watching that movie? Like, so I really wanted to watch it tonight. And she said, oh, yeah, no, we watched it. Sorry, I hadn't brought it back yet. I said, no big deal, but can I come and get it? And she said, yeah. So I went over there for a little bit, talked with her, caught up, and then went home. I watched the first movie. And I was like, what the hell was wrong with me? I know what was wrong with me. I wasn't paying attention and I wasn't fully hooked because I hadn't finished the first book. And I remember when I was watching it, I was trying to be like, don't get super sucked in because again, you haven't finished it. So especially like the end, I wasn't like, I just wasn't paying attention. So from then on, I fell into the fan fiction spiral. I started reading fan fiction again. And I hadn't done that since... The only real time that I was really like super heavy into fan fiction was when I was into Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which was when I was in high school, like end of high school. And then I did get into Grey's Anatomy fan fiction for like a year-ish, but then I stopped. It's usually around the time when like I'm like, I don't know, if I'm not like super like happy with things in life, or like I kind of need a distraction to like kind of distract me from things, then like that's when like obsessions begin. And definitely during that time, there's a lot of things going on. So it was a nice distraction. So I fell into the fan fiction spiral. I was on Tumblr. I was in different groups. And yeah, so I definitely have my opinions. This is the Shane Dawson mug. This is the matte tumbler. It looks amazing. It has kind of little spots because I washed it like you're supposed to, but it's great. It's really heavy though. And it's a metal straw. Water. So, just to pause real quick. I'm not loving my eyes. The shade I liked the most was Buttercup, that really like coppery matte shade, or brown, like really like that mid-tone brown matte shade, kind of orange side. This is not good. This is all right. So, I mean, I was hoping that it would have surprised me, but not so much. So I might add to this a little bit, but let's just keep going. Since it's so matte though, and it's not super, oh, I was going to do the inner corner shade. I'll use my Tarte palette, the little, this one right here. So, I fell down the rabbit hole and became obsessed. And yeah, I went to opening night for every single movie after that, and I saw them multiple times. I believe I think Catching Fire I saw in the movie theater 7 times. 7 times. And I have my shippings, if you will. My opinions about that. But I just really love the series because... What is it? Sorry, somebody was calling me. Just from a perspective of her character is very introverted and introspective. She doesn't talk a lot. And so, and I mean, it's in all in first person, so it's all from her point of view, and it's all in her mind. So you really get to know how Katniss feels about things, even when it's maddening and she doesn't really know what she wants, but she's working it out in her mind. And that's definitely something that I did feel lacked in the movie. That, I mean, she has to talk, unless if they are going to narrate the movie, she has to say more, and she has to be a little more extroverted. But I thought Jennifer Lawrence was absolutely perfect for the movie. I loved the entire cast. Thought they were great. Now, years out, I do have some changes that maybe now I would make. But most of them, even though maybe now I'd be like, I think this person should have played it, maybe played it this way. At this time, at that time, I mean, I still think that they all did a fantastic job. That's basically what I'm trying to say. I'm going to do the Sex Kitten liquid liner. Let's see if you see how I do my liner. Maybe. No, because I'm a blind person. Not a blind person, sorry. I just have very bad eyesight. So I'm just going to use this. So, yeah, that's how I got into the Hunger Games. Took me 2 vacations about a little over a year apart to really get myself together. Now, I haven't even rewatched one of the movies in a very, very long time because it makes me very emotional. It's a very emotional story, at least it is to me. So, unless if I'm in the mood to really cry, be in the mood to cry and just, like, emotionally get a lot of stuff out, it's just hard for me to watch. Okay. Sorry, I have to kind of be quiet on doing the liner. Oh, so I was talking about Katniss. So Katniss, because she, again, like I said, she's a very introverted person. All she wants out of life, literally, the only thing she wants is for her family to be safe in this very scary world that they don't have a lot of control over. So she tries to find ways that she can bring back some control into her life. And at the time myself, I felt that there were a lot of things that were out of control in my life. So it inspired me to take things into control. Because I know in here I'm like, but I mean, especially like when I'm in a new situation, I can be very quiet and very introverted and very nervous about like kind of like stepping out of line or anything like that. So she just really inspired me to push my boundaries, because if this imaginary character can get through the things that she does get through and come out on the other side and be okay, and you know, and it's not like at the end of the book she's like, you know, spoilers, it's not like she's a world leader and like walking around doing all these. She fell into these things that she didn't really want, but she pushes through because in a way she knows it's expected of her, but deep down she knows that it is the right thing to do, and she does believe in doing the right thing. And in the end, you know, she has her life. She's scarred by it, literally. And she's happy. She might not be like classic movie ending happy, but she's created something for herself, and she has independence and, you know, something that she's created for herself. That, you know, she's not living by anybody's rules anymore. And yeah, it's definitely quite a transformation that she goes through in the end. So, if you'd heard, there is going to be a new book. This is a prequel, which I'm glad that it's a prequel, because then I don't have to worry about the ending being any different. It's not like the author's trying to come in and be like, oh, well, actually, I meant this. You know, it's, the story is the story, but it might be interesting to see how the past ties into the characters that we presently know. If there's going to be any anything of that nature. So I am excited to get the new book and read it. I'm going to use the NYX brown eyeliner for my waterline. Well, no, but I use black, so never mind. I'll use the black one. Let's use my Lancome black. So that will be coming out, and I will definitely read it. I could do a little review for it if you want. But it will be a prequel. And yeah, it will be interesting on how that world gets created and how Suzanne Collins, the author, envisioned that. Because I think with any great author, you know, with their world building, they need to have an idea, like going into a book, how things got to where they are. But I mean, that doesn't mean that she had this fully fledged history already written down and then she's now starting this. I'm sure that she had an idea of how things went, but now she's able to explore that world before when we meet Katniss. So I'm just going to curl my lashes real quick. Curl them. To the other eye. Curl them. Oh! The other one. And the other one. So yeah, that's kind of my role of the Hunger Games. Pretty much once the movie was over, I was kind of, you know, I didn't really go into Tumblr anymore. I've reactivated my Tumblr because of the new movie, and I just kind of wanted to see if there's anybody that I used to follow, if they're excited for it, if they have any theories about what it could be. Because I mean, it was popping over there. There was a lot going on. There was a lot going on. I mean, you know, it was, what was it, like 4 years ago? Something like that. A lot's changed since then. A lot of things are different. And a lot of things are not exactly the same, but similar. So it's interesting. Just doing a little bit of the Better Than Sex mascara. So I'm just going to do this with just this, and then I'll add a little bit of the eyeshadow if I need to. Oh, I didn't do the lower lash line. It's alright. I can do it in a second. See here? This is probably the most basic eye I've ever done. It's so basic. So basic. Alright. I mean, with the lashes, you know, it's just kind of Okay, real quick. Blush I use, Pretty Vulgar blush. It'd make them blush. This is big. This is an what is this? An It Cosmetics brush. I got it all time a set. Here we go. Then I use the Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil Bronzer because I am pale. And I'm just going to do a little bit under here. Just a little bit. And then the chin. I've kind of gotten away from doing my forehead because I feel like it makes my forehead look dirty. Maybe I'm just doing it wrong. Let me know.